So, I mean, we could literally be here for 5 hours discussing the extent of your international and your National Women's Soccer League career and all of the above. I'm wondering what you think, though. I mean, we've seen such a huge evolution in the game in this country. Um, what was the tipping point, do you think, in Canada? Was it 2012? Was it the World Cup before that? What do you think it was?
Um, hmm. I think it started in that under 19 World Cup in Edmonton. What was that? 2002, I think, and that was the first time that as a country we'd seen that type of support for a women's soccer team, and we were a bunch of kids, which made it even more insane. But I remember thinking, this is just going to be the start of something amazing within Canada. Um, and then unfortunately it didn't pan out that way. Like, it kind of stopped there until 2012.
Right.
And nothing quite brings your country together like an Olympics, and a sort of an underdog team to get behind, and some calls and things like that. But yeah, 2012 kind of just made the sport explode within Canada. To see the flag rise beside Japan and the US, it was one of those moments I'll never forget. Made a little, knowing that the US national anthem was playing was a little hard to swallow, but just, I'd achieved a childhood dream. I had an Olympic medal around my neck. I didn't think that was ever going to happen.
Unbelievable.
And then just perfect timing to have the World Cup a couple of years after that in Canada, where people were able to go and see the best players in the world live. I just imagine all the young kids that, are 6, 7, going to the games in Canada, and hopefully we inspired a few of them, and that they'll be on the national team in like 10 years or so, because I'm a firm believer these young kids have to see it to believe that they can do it. And I think we've started to see that.
You aren't on social media much, but you're very purposeful about where and how you use your Twitter, at the very least. A couple of years ago, I think you called out Canada Soccer because they were promoting the men's tournament instead of promoting.
Yeah, that went over well.
But you've earned your place. At a certain point, you're not going to be replaced. You are you, so you can use your platform, right?
Yeah, I definitely, I'm not the type of person on social media that's going to post what I had for dinner last night, or what restaurant I went. That's not me. But there are certain things that happen, certain things that I feel at times need to be said. And occasionally I get up the courage to put it online.
Is that hard for you? Does it feel like, oh my God, I just pressed send?
Well, it's just, I know that a lot of people will read it. And, you put anything online, you're going to have some people completely support you. Some people feel the complete opposite way and would rather you not put anything out there. But that's just the world we live in. But I just think some things have to be said at times.
How frustrating is that general premise when, Canada's women are the best, right? Obviously, you deserve equal billing at the very least. And I guess this is a worldwide issue when we talk about pay discrepancy and all of that. How frustrating is that?
It's very frustrating. Because I think along the way I've been online like, oh, you don't support the men's team. Like, why do you have to bash the men's team? And that's not my point at all.
Right.
I'm just a fan of Canadians. Any team, like, of course I want our men's team to be successful and be in the next World Cup. That's only going to help grow the game within Canada on both sides. But just women, I don't think, deserve to be treated like second class citizens or athletes just because of the gender we are. We deserve the same opportunities. And I mean, that starts at a very young age. The same opportunities as a 4 or 5-year-old that, you know, girls and boys, it should be the exact same. I think the equal pay and things like that with the national team, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many more systemic problems that I think need to be addressed first.
Like?
I mean, let's just look at our professional leagues, you know, things like that, you look at the MLS and the academies that their teams have for their youth, you know, all the young boys. Where do the young girls go play? You know, it's just, and that's not even talking about professional environments for the adults or the players that have achieved that level. I mean, right now, young female Canadians can't watch it on TV because there is no league. And that just snowballs.
It seems that the National Women's Soccer League is making headway. We saw record numbers last summer at the Challenge Cup. There's a huge amount of expansion. There's some really interesting names that are throwing their hats into the ring. Yeah. Naomi Osaka being one, and then a whole bunch of stars in LA.
Yeah.
This has got to be regarded as good news.
Yeah, I think the league here is moving in the right direction. I've been proud to be a part of it from the onset, and where the league stands right now, it's exciting. It's just a matter of how big is it going to get. And you see people within the US willing to take those risks, willing to put their name behind a franchise. And we just, like, our goal as Canadians is to get a couple of those teams in Canada, similar to the MLS. And it's just going to take a couple rich Canadians to, you know, take a chance. Unfortunately, that's what it is.
I know.
You know, and they do it all the time on the men's side. You know, men's owners lose millions of dollars and they're willing to do it, but there's still a reluctancy on the women's side to just take a chance.
I just want to dig a little bit deeper into what it means to you to be the role model that you are. I mean, like I said, there are women on your team who grew up wanting to be the next you, let alone all the young kids who are out there. So how important is that responsibility to you?
When I was growing up, I didn't have female role models to, like, in sports, to look up to. And, you know, I was convinced I was going to be in the major leagues. I was going to be a baseball player because that's what I saw on TV, you know? And so now to have young girls dreaming of representing Canada, playing professionally, yeah, I just try to represent myself, represent Canada as best I can. I just try to be a good Canadian, keep my head on straight, and do the best I can.
I think you're doing it.
Trying.
This is the question we leave all of our guests with, and that is, what is your best advice for a young Christine Sinclair?
I think it would just be to enjoy the ride a little bit more. I'm a very focused individual, and I'm very like strict in what I do. And like when I'm away with the national team, it's business. Like, and because of that, I think I've had a great career, but there's been countries that I've visited and cities that I've visited that I haven't even taken a picture of. I can't remember that I was there. And that my sport has allowed me to travel the world. And I don't think I've taken advantage of that fully. I just need to it. I wish at times I would have just like stopped and taken it all in a little bit more.
Well, that's great advice for you or for anybody. I have enjoyed this ride. This is a career highlight for me. So I want to thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's really a great honor.
Oh, awesome.